grant those, that legislative body, the authority to do that. The only militia, there is only one. It is all able-bodied person. It is not the National Guard. The Constitution, both in Illinois and the Congress, makes distinctions between Army, Navy, troops, and the militia. They are worded separately. There is no such thing as the unorganized militia. So how should we treat the Illinois legislature's statutes that say we're all to be, 99.9% of us are to be unarmed and go home undisciplined and not be in a militia? Well, the United States Supreme Court has dealt with this many times on page 3. Right about the, towards the top. An unconstitutional act is not a law. It imposes no duty. It is in legal contemplation as inoperative as though it has never been passed. They said that many times, so has many other courts below that. As far as I'm concerned, the statutes that say we're the unorganized militia doesn't even exist. It's though it's not on paper. An unconstitutional act has no authority in law whatsoever. We are the militia. The Congress is supposed to arm us, discipline, regulate us. They're supposed to get us organized. They failed. The states should be doing it. The state legislature failed. So who does it fall upon? Well, we were the authors of both constitutions. We're the inherent power in this government, so it falls upon us. We need to get organized, armed, disciplined. I'm working. There's a website up. It's called IllinoisMilitia.org. It's under construction. There's almost nothing on it, but I'm working on getting it up. I would recommend to each of you, the militia is not something that everybody should be waiting for someone to give you orders. It is all of us. Start forming groups, preferably about 5, 6, 7. The militia traditionally was you formed, exercised on your own, even though you answered to the governor as the commander of the militia. Start forming groups, preferably right in your own city, neighborhood, 5, 6, 7. And then we will eventually be joining together. Don't wait for anybody. Start getting organized. We are very close to a currency collapse. Very close. When that comes, there will be chaos, looting, civil disorder, and it'll be on a global scale, and it'll be much different from the 1929 one, because in 1929, there was 90 million Americans, and they were self-sufficient. They didn't have television. They didn't have high standards. Most of them didn't even have cars. We now have 312 Americans. Many sit and feed at the government trough, and they are undisciplined. They don't know self-sufficiency. They want cable TV. They don't even have enough food for 3 days and for till tomorrow in their house. You will have chaos and looting. The only force capable of doing that is the militia. If we are armed, organized, and disciplined. Not only that, we are charged with it. It is our duty in the United States Constitution, the Illinois Constitution, to execute the laws of the Union, to repel invasions and to put down insurrection. It is our duty. We have shirked it. It's nice that we're asking and begging for what is already our unalienable right to carry firearms. It's nice that we're doing that. But it would be smarter if we just did it and told the government to take their place as our servant. Don't tell us our unalienable right. It is our unalienable natural right. We should all came here with firearms. But what will be able to empower us to do that is for us to get together, not individually, and do it. That's why the militia is the greatest force. There's another quote by Justice Story. I won't read it because I'm running out of time. It's at the bottom of page 3. There's also some references if you want to become an expert on the authority of the militia, everything I covered, and then some. Read Dr. Edwin Vieira's articles. I got a reference to it. You can go online. He has 4 Harvard degrees. He is a 30-year constitutional attorney. In my opinion, he's one of the foremost experts on the revitalizing the militia, and he's the only one really championing it in the United States. He's really sticking his neck out. So we need to join with that. Now, real fast, I had a video sent to me the other day. It was about Lewis and Clark It was a little bit of a mystery as to how Lewis and Clark made it across the country through all the enemy territories and haven't been slaughtered. It was about 35 or 37 of them. How were they not wiped out by the savage Indians? Well, they had an air rifle. Many of you know that. I didn't even know one existed. They had an air rifle that held, I think it was 800 pounds of air. I still don't know how you'd get that much in the stock of the gun, but it would shoot 40 BBs or projectiles, like a bullet, that would go into a 1-inch wood board or through a 1-inch wood board. Every time they met some Indians, they would demonstrate the weapon, and the Indians were taken by it. Firepower, and they kept their distance, and they went along, sure, come on through, but they were worried. They didn't know there was only one. They thought all 35 probably had it. And what they achieved, what Lewis and Clark achieved at that time, was peace through the perception of superior firepower. They made the perception that the Indians have no chance. What we want to do, what we should be doing, we will have no more need for tea parties or anything once the militia is formed, because it won't be the perception. We will achieve peace without firing one shot through the very obvious superior firepower. And there will be no need ever to use those guns when the government, our servants, sees that we are armed, organized, and disciplined. We will no longer need to be begging for what is already our rights. Thank you very much.